President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi directed on Thursday to scrutinize all details regarding Egyptian Family Development Project in order to be integrated with presidential initiatives in the sector of healthcare and social protection. The President also directed to increase medical convoys to boost executive mechanisms used by those initiatives. El-Sisi ordered to set up an institutional mechanism to evaluate the outcomes of the Egyptian Family Development Project. This came during the President's meeting with Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli, the Minister also of Higher Education, Khaled Abdel Ghaffar, Minister of Planning, Dr. Hala Al-Said, Minister of Social Solidarity, Niveen Al-Qabbaj, the Presidential Advisor for Health Affairs, Muhammad Awad Tajuddin, and Head of the National Council for Women, Dr. Maya Morsi. Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli has followed up preparations to host the 21st summit of the heads of state and governments of the common markets for Eastern and South Africa, COMESA, which is dated for the 23rd of November in the Red Sea resort of Sharm el-Sheikh.
Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli said President el-Sisi had given his directives to enhance and develop the regional integration as well as consolidating trade ties between Egypt and member states of the Common Markets for Eastern and South Africa, COMESA. This came during his meeting with a number of ministers and senior state officials to follow up preparations to host the 21st summit of the heads of state and governments of COMESA, which is slated for the 23rd of November in the Red Sea resort of Sharm el-Sheikh. Madbouli asserted that Egypt's hosting of the summit reflects its fixed faith and its abiding by the enhancement of the common action to increase the economic growth in addition to confronting all obstacles that hinder free trade among COMESA states plus dealing with challenges resulted in the coronavirus pandemic. He gave his instructions to all concerned authorities to exert utmost efforts to guarantee the success of this summit. The Prime Minister stressed the significance of Egypt's expected chairmanship of COMESA as it will be handed over the presidency in the upcoming summit after 20 years since its latest chairmanship in 2001. Premier Madbouli noted that Egypt had actively contributed in consolidating the economic and trade cooperation among COMESA member states. He reiterated that Egypt is keen to prop up trade ties with African states, especially that regional cooperation through trade blocs have become one of the most important mechanisms to achieve development.
Foreign Minister Sameh Shoukry met with UN Special Coordinator for Middle East Peace Process, Tor Wennesland, on Thursday. The meeting tackled the latest developments in the Palestinian cause and means to push forward the peace talks between Palestinians and Israelis, as well as Egypt's exerted efforts to resume the stalled peace negotiations. Shoukry stressed the significance of reaching suitable climate to resume peace negotiations between the Palestinian and Israeli sides. The top diplomat stressed that there would be a real will that aims at a serious movement on this track in coordination with concerned regional and international parties. He added that such will should be aimed at pushing forward peace talks and holding an independent Palestinian state with Jerusalem as its capital in accordance with international laws and legitimacy. Separately, Arab League Secretary General Ahmed Abul Ghait met with UN Special Coordinator on the Palestinian file. The Arab League chief warned of dangerous repercussions of settlements expansion, the settlers' intensified attacks, demolishing houses, as well as the stalled negotiations between the two sides. Abul Ghait expressed his deep concern towards the escalating Israeli violations in the West Bank and Jerusalem. The pair discussed the deteriorated situation in the occupied Palestinian territories and dangers of human deterioration in Gaza, in addition to hurdles resulted in huge economic difficulties faced by the Palestinian National Authority in the West Bank amid an absence of unsettlement of the crisis. The Egyptian embassy in Addis Ababa has called on Egyptian expats to remain vigilant after a state of emergency was declared across Ethiopia. In a statement, the embassy urged all expats to adhere to all measures and instructions issued by Ethiopian authorities and keep movement to a minimum while ensuring that they always carry their identification documents. The embassy also advised against going to large gatherings and remote areas. Egypt's embassy has set up a hotline for its expats to reach out to in case of emergency. The U.S. Embassy in Addis Ababa has authorized the voluntary departure of non-emergency government, the staff and family members because of armed conflict in Ethiopia. The step came after Washington said it was gravely concerned about the escalating violence there. On Tuesday, the Ethiopian government declared a state of emergency after Tigray rebels. They seized two crucial towns in an apparent push towards the capital. And Lebanese Prime Minister Najib Mikati said he had agreed with President Michel Aoun